In just a few moments, I am going to be talking about gathering for the holidays with family. And now I think it's the only way to celebrate. I have a story for you, and I can't wait. So let's go. Hello, this is Stephanie, and this is Truth Detective. Did you know that I am your personal truth detective, giving you information and facts about society, culture, U.S. news, world news, our justice system, and so much more? I'd like to welcome the new listeners of Truth Detective, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoy this episode and continue to listen to all my episodes. Because this is a little bit different than my other episodes, and it's a story of sorts, I want you to go now into your kitchen and get a mug of hot chocolate or coffee or a glass of wine and sit down for just a little while. And let me tell you a story of a Christmas some years ago. In our society and culture, most of us love the holidays and celebrations. No matter where or when they are, we continue to have fun and laughter. There's no doubt there is no one that can stop us from the holiday activities. It was back in 2007 that I started going to the Catskills in New York State. Think of the movie Dirty Dancing without the handsome Patrick Swayze. These family 3-meal-a-day vacation spots that are holdouts from the early 1940s and 1950s still exist to this day. There are still some resorts and families that enjoy these resorts, family-style eating and nighttime activities, and hanging out with old friends as well as making new friends. There are families coming together and vacationing together at the same time every year. And the reservations are very hard to make for the same week every year. But constantly, these families get together. I can only bet that last year, with COVID, there weren't as many people coming for Christmas. I suppose there were no resorts open. Families, like many others, that went nowhere, had no vacation. We all saw that happen. But things have changed. Maybe not as fast as we would like, but they really have. And sidebar here, after you listen to this episode, check out the Catskills. It's a lot of fun. And of course, the links to some of the places upstate will be in the show notes. Every Christmas since 2007 and for the next 10 years, I drove up to the Catskills in upstate New York with the wintry, beautiful snow wonderland in the air, blistering winds sweeping the snow around the streets. At the end of the journey, there was an old-time bed and breakfast dating back to the late 1800s that my friend Suzanne owned. It was once a 3-meal-a-day resort, but some years back, it turned into a bed and breakfast. It was her family that owned and operated the whole place. And by 2007, when I started going upstate, Bavarian Manor was completely operated by Suzanne, her husband, and their children. It was cozy, inviting, and a perfect place for a Christmas season, complete with families that had skiers going to Hunter Mountain and doing other winter activities. I can imagine now the whole family and work crew going up into the attic and pulling down those Christmas decorations. It warms my heart. The place was old, but always welcomed new guests that, around Christmas time, and seeing the manor, as it was affectionately called, would have the eyes of a child seeing Santa Claus for the first time. A warm fire and a greeting and sitting room were waiting for guests as they came in from the snowy and cold outside. And it got pretty cold. On many occasions, the door flew open with families wanting to eat delicious German food from the restaurant as well. Oh, by the way, this community in upstate New York was full of German food and restaurants. Everybody that came through the door sighed and gasped at the beauty. There were white, glistening Christmas trees flocking the fireplace, and so many lights, different colors and variations, tinsel and wreaths. I never grew tired of all the sights of Bavarian Manor at Christmas time. And I also gasped, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe It's so beautiful. If you were a regular visitor, there were plenty of hugs and salutations to go around. Everybody knew everybody. And after a while, if you made multiple trips upstate, they became family too. The guest rooms were cozy and complete, but most of the action involved going into the restaurant and bar area and the sitting room that had all the lights and the seating around, the Christmas trees and fireplace. And it was here that laughter was always the order of the day. Always someone pulling up a chair so that all could sit and enjoy. And we did until the wee hours of the morning, when after a nightcap, we'd fall into bed. And on the next day, there would be a whole new set of guests that would come to the bed and breakfast for a night or two. Families wanting to ski and enjoy the snowy Christmas season. Smells of German comfort food were permeating all day, followed by long lines of people waiting to be seated. Luckily, there was a cozy bar area where a guest could sidle up to eat and eat and eat. Maybe you had your first meal at 5:30 p.m., but then you were hungry again by 8 p.m., another snack, and maybe chicken wings after that. It was all along the way of meeting your friends and family while you did this. It was a place of happiness, smiles, Christmas cheer, and lots of good eating. And along the way, after years of going to the manor for Christmas, I became friendly with Suzanne and her family. And so it was. We would always go out nights that the bar and restaurant were closed and go for Italian or good old American food on the town. And I loved this because of all the decorating and care that went into the Christmas holiday season everywhere we went. But afterward, we all would come back ready for sleep, but we would have our nightcaps and tell stories before heading to bed. After a while, every year, year in and year out, and for the years to come, I would gather up small gifts for Suzanne and her family, the restaurant staff, the cleaning staff, and other close friends, and put them in small gift bags to give as gifts from my favorite Christmas specialty stores and catalogs. I loved that. Just the act of giving and seeing those smiles really made my holiday. As it got closer and closer to Christmas, the excitement grew at Bavarian Manor, and there were no worries, no complaints, and no unhappiness. Being at the manor made everything okay. This is my fond Christmas memory of being upstate. But in 2016, I broke away from spending any time in the Catskills because I got into podcasting, and there were podcasting events and family commitments. It was also in 2016 I wrote a small book. I was plenty busy that year, and it was the right choice to stay home rather than go upstate. But then, the unexpected happened. In October of 2017, on Suzanne's birthday, of all days, she passed in her sleep. I never spent another Christmas season at Bavarian Manor again, but I moved on to a new life and a new town, new memories, and a different type of Christmas. But still, the memories linger on, as they probably will forever. Looking back, if I could change anything, the few things I would change are spending time with my genuine blood relatives and my nieces that I never saw grow up. And then also thinking about the unhealthy lifestyle my upstate friends and I were living day in and day out. And now, years later, I know that eating good-for-you holiday foods isn't easy. Specialty low-carb keto holiday dishes are almost always evaded from any holiday meal. It is the truth. And it really wasn't until the pandemic hit last year that I had the opportunity to cook the good-for-me holiday meals I want and need to keep me healthy, and with no guilt afterwards, which I know a lot of us feel after the holidays. The horrendous, fatty, fried German so-called comfort food may not be so comfortable after all. Bad habits of drinking too much, eating too much had done a lot of damage to Suzanne's life, along with others I spent time with while upstate, including my own. I felt heavy, winded, and lost a lot of confidence. And who needs that? Heavy drinking and eating don't equate to a full and long life. Suzanne and a few others upstate are proof of that. This must be a tale for everybody's sake to be remembered for this holiday season and future holiday seasons. We have to keep our immunity up. A couple of weeks ago, I spoke to a few friends to find out what their holiday seasons look like this year. And we all have one thing in common: celebrating with the ones we love. our family. And so it is. I look forward to a beautiful holiday season. Living in the Northeast, I expect a little more snow and cold weather for Christmas, which I always love. But with my family around, I'll take what I can get. Getting cozy around a table filled with a different type of food than I'm used to and desserts is a yearly must-do. I've since brought a few low-carb desserts that I've learned how to make, but the family is what my blessing is for now and always in the future. This also includes plenty of holiday decorations with lights, music, cozy candles, and comfortable throws in my home, so there's something that I can love getting ready for the big day. This reminds me of love, warmth, and caring. Watching It's a Wonderful Life is a reminder of just how grateful we all ought to be. And of course, with every holiday season, there is giving love. The act of a meaningful hug is sometimes all that's needed. Believe me, it's the truth. I will happily participate this holiday season on a virtual Zoom call to decorate my very own artistic take paint on a wood type decoration, complete with all the craft supplies I'll need. These gatherings always get me in the holiday spirit. As I do this, and as always, I think of special and meaningful future holiday celebrations. And one of the questions that always comes up during these virtual events each year, every year, is where are you spending the holidays this year? And so it is. My moral or wrap up to my short tale, although there are mixed endings here, I walk away from the memories of the manor. Many people I knew and loved in the upstate resort area, including Suzanne, have since passed on. I never got to say farewell to any of these friends. I was misled and feel forever guilty about the future time I may have to spend Christmas with my relatives instead of spending the season with friends like Suzanne, although nice and wonderful, but still not true family. Yes, the family relatives I left behind for years at Christmas time, so to celebrate with Suzanne and her family, I will never get back. Not bad or good, really. My dear, dear listeners, just something to contemplate this holiday season. Of course, like all of my episodes, there is a call to action holiday list. First off, send actual paper cards. Everybody appreciates the time and effort mailing cards take. And let's bring back that old and very cool tradition. Bring something along with you for hosts to show you are thinking of them. A bottle of the host's favorite wine, a homemade pecan pie, low-carb sugar cookies, a cool card game, a homemade ornament specifically for them, and some other ideas will be in the show notes. Make it personalized. Take some family to see light shows around your area. And no, this isn't just for the children. I love that too. Sit quietly, if you can, for at least 10 minutes and think about the reason for the season. The reason you love this season. Is it peace on earth that you want? Yes. Is it reinstating an old connection with a family member? Yes. Only you know. Call someone who can't be physically with you for this holiday season. This goes along with sending an actual Christmas card. And let's go out of the way to show the people in and around your town you care by saying happy holidays, wishing them well, or just take a few extra minutes asking what they are up to this holiday season, and maybe a few bucks to show you care. Believe me, all of these things count. They really do. Acts of kindness, giving where you can, smiling and thinking about others. Leave them thinking great thoughts about you and the holidays, because sadly, you just never know when or if you'll see them again. Hey, if you enjoyed my bittersweet holiday story, that's great. And I love that. Go to truthdetectivepodcast.com to get to all my episodes, all my show notes, those links, and there's a little bio on me if you're wondering what I'm all about. You can also subscribe and follow Truth Detective, and you'll get the notifications for free. That's it for day one of the Christmas holiday episodes, and I look forward to seeing you on day two. Okay, bye-bye.